Thunder Report from 107.7 The Franchise.
Greetings, Thunder fans. Our Oklahoma City Thunder now ready to take on the Denver Nuggets tonight in Chesapeake Energy Arena after their 10 o'clock shoot-around this morning here at the Integris Development Center. Kevin+Durant is our only player guest today, and he's a good one. We had fun with Kevin talking about last Friday night's 51-point effort in the double overtime win over the Toronto Raptors. And speaking of the Raptors, one of their players, Grievous Vasquez, a former Durant teammate, said that having Kevin Durant on your team is like having Jesus on your team. We got Kevin to comment on that. Plus, Kevin had some fun with one reporter today who got choked up during Q&A. You'll notice that right in the middle of our interviews. Now here's Kevin Durant on today's Thunder Report.
Kevin, we already talked to you about what an exciting win that was on Friday, but kind of talk to the guys just about what you learned from it and what momentum can you build coming off that kind of game.
Well, I'm glad we had 2 days in between because that was an emotional game. But it was fun to be a part of. And I think our defense was on point that game. Held them, I think, 40% shooting. They scored a lot of points, of course, because of overtimes, but I think our defense was on point. We did a good job in, some areas as far as switching and, keeping guys in front. They got offensive rebounds, but we can control that. So we just try to build off of that defensive effort we put up, and we moved the ball well. We just didn't make a lot of shots last game. So hopefully tonight we make some shots and, we play the same type of defense, even better. Try to contain a team that scores a lot of points.
What do you think the key is tonight in beating Denver?
We'll just get back in transition, keep them in front of us, try to make them play in that half court. They can move. They're good in the half court, but they rather play in transition. So we have to all get back, and I think that comes from taking good shots on the offense and then also and not turning it over.
Katie, what's the fallout after a 50-point game? I mean, you get a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. What's that like?
Yeah, I got 63 text messages when I got back to my phone after the game. And I know it's just a lot of people say always say it's just regular season. But, it's pretty special to play that way, play that type of game on the road. It's never want to take anything for granted. And it's hard enough to score in this league, and it's hard enough to win in this league. So, my teammates gave me the game ball, and a lot of people who supported me after that game and made me feel good about it. But it's over with. I got to worry about tonight and, try to help us get a W.
Would you rank that above that 54-point game against Golden State just because, how you did it?
Yeah, I mean, it was different. Well, it was different games. I mean, that was a shootout. Golden State was a shootout between both teams. But it was just being down 8 with 40 seconds to go. Hitting 3 threes in a row to win that game is unheard of. A lot of people probably turned the TVs when we were down 8 with 49 seconds to go. So, yeah, I think that ranks a little higher just because of the circumstances we were put under and how we came out and won.
You call glass on the first one?
Nope. I'm not that good. No, it looked like it was going to be a long. It's going to hit the backboard pretty hard, but it bounced just right.
How tough are back-to-backs at this stage of the season? Are they more challenging?
If you look at it that way, they can be. I just try not to worry about it being a back-to-back. Just another game on the schedule, and I think that's how our teams approach it, especially if we have a tough game that first game. I think against last time we played Dallas and we went over to Chicago, we didn't want to lose 2 in a row, and I think will get you through a lot of things, especially if you're tired late in the season. And a lot of guys every guy on this team has that willpower and never let the fatigue get to him.
The way that road trip ended, but also you got all 3 games on the road, can that be kind of a camaraderie and confidence-building trip just between you guys in the locker room?
It was definitely a confidence builder, especially after the last win. The locker room was as electric as I've seen it this whole year, just because it was just the wow factor, I guess, and playing that type of game, and also knowing that Russell was smiling when even though he left the game early, he was smiling and upbeat about his I guess his so-called injury, but he was everybody was just upbeat, man, and it was cool. It's cool to see, and we just keep growing closer and closer. On the planes, in the hotels, if we go out to eat, everything is it's starting to come together really well.
Kevin, you had to be pretty relieved when you heard the news that there wasn't any additional damage, I guess.
Yeah, of course, everybody was. I think everybody in Oklahoma was. It was unfortunate to see him go out like that, and It was definitely a scare for us throughout the whole game. I think the first thing we asked him when we came back to the locker room is how's he feeling? And he said he felt great. So it's good to get confirmation from the guys who really know that everything's all right. So hopefully, he plays here soon and keep moving forward.
In the past, when you guys have faced Lawson and Foy and been successful keeping them in check, what have you guys done?
Go ahead. He was trying to get that out for a while.
I swallowed wrong, and I'm like, about the joke.
Eat water, Randy.
Can we take a quick break?
He was waiting. I was like, that was hilarious.
I don't even know if I want to ask that question anymore. You can go.
Well, I got a quick one, actually, Kevin. Each year, y'all's winning percentage goes up and up. It's one thing to talk about wanting that consistency each year, and another thing to do it, especially with all the challenges you guys have faced. How do you put it to use? How do you be able to do that on the court each year?
Oh, well, we know how important every single day is, and Coach always emphasizes that every single day is important as far as our development as a team, building our habits every single day, and guys come to work. We got 6 or 7 guys here every morning, 2 hours before practice, working on schemes, working on offense, or working on their individual games. And got a bunch of guys after practice. You look now, shoot around is over with. We got, almost every court is full of guys working. So, you bring that together with the group, then only success can happen. So we just got to keep pushing.
Without Chandler, will you see more time on Kenneth Faried tonight, or?
It depends. We've been going small lately, so most likely. Chandler's out. I didn't know he was.
Well,
he didn't play last night.
Didn't play last night.
So yeah, we'll see. I know we go small. We're going small without Perk. Lately, so we'll see what happens, and I'll be ready for it. It's a tough matchup, but I got to take the challenge.
Thanks, Kevin.
You heard Grievous Vasquez comments.
What you say?
Grievous about having Kevin+Durant on a team is like having Jesus on a team.
If you try to compare me to that guy, it's gonna be tough to match up. The greatest man ever walked the earth. It's gonna be tough to match up with that. So I wouldn't say I was nowhere near Jesus in this league, man. I'm just going out there having fun with the game, and some nights Jesus is definitely out there watching over me. But me being him if I try to, I fail miserably if I try to stack up to that guy. So I like being KD.
That's Kevin+Durant after shoot-around this morning here at the Integris Development Center. Tip-off a little after 7 o'clock tonight. And the TotallyTickets.com Countdown to Tip-Off show, presented by Homeland and Bank 7, is coming your way here on 107.7 The Franchise, as Desmond Mason and John Rohde will join me live from Toby Keith's at 6 o'clock this evening. That's this morning's Thunder Report. We'll have another after the game tonight against Denver. I'm David Garrett for 107.7 The Franchise.